who's paying them. It's like, dude, they're paying out of pocket. They're trying to defend themselves. I don't think people understand. This is fascism, okay? Like, this is not just things that you read in your fucking history books. This is something that is happening right now.
Emergency rooms and homeless shelters. ICE intervened as a pretext to federalize the National Guard, and then in the White House, the National Guard was complimented for the work that they did to keep peace in the city Saturday night. But I will tell you, the Guard didn't even arrive here until Sunday. They used this as a pretext to send the U.S. Marines into an American city, which will target our own citizens. They've been threatening elected officials with arrests, and they just shoved and cuffed a sitting U.S. senator. How could you say that you did not know who he was? We see the videotape, we see him saying who he was, but how do you not recognize one of two senators in our state? And he is not just any senator. He is the first Latino senator to ever represent our state. The images we have seen of our city over the past week, the rage, the vandalism, the looting, none of that is LA. Los Angeles is who you see behind me, representatives of the faith community, the business community, community organizations. Yesterday, I stood at this podium with over 30 mayors from Los Angeles County who are all concerned about what is going on. Los Angeles is a Jewish community, a Muslim community, a Christian community, and many other faiths. Los Angeles is Chinatown, Little Tokyo, Filipino Town, Koreatown, Thai Town, the South LA African American community, the Chamber of Congress, the Central City Association. This is LA, and we are united. And I just want to say that I was listening to the words of the secretary at the press conference describing LA as a war zone. It is my understanding that she arrived here late last night, was here for a few hours today, and came to that conclusion. There's no one up here that sees Los Angeles like that, and I know as the press, you know this is not all of Los Angeles. This is isolated to a few blocks in a city that is over 500 square miles. And out of those 500 square miles, the protests, and especially the protests that devolved into vandalism, represents about half a square mile. So the notion that this is happening all over our city, the notion that this city is not governable, the notion that we need the military to intervene. We have the capacity to address these problems, and I know there's not a person up here that supports vandalism, that supports violence, and that understands if you support the immigrant community, you know how to do it in a peaceful manner. We are proud to say that we have a well-established, a well-respected immigrant rights organizations that have been holding protests for years and years that have never devolved into violence. And so to characterize what is going on as our city is a city of mayhem is just an outright lie. I'm not going to call it an untruth. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to call it for what it is, which is a lie. And I just have to say, I served with the secretary. I served with the secretary for probably about 10 years in Congress. And Madam Secretary, I do not recognize you. I do not know Christy Nome that I served with for 10 years. So no matter what happens out of the White House, we will always uphold and reflect what Los Angeles and the United States of America are truly about. Freedom, tolerance, and for God's institution. With that, I would like to introduce Angelica Salas, the Executive Director of CHIRLA, one of the most respected and established immigrant rights organization that has been in our city for over 4 decades and is known throughout the nation. And I want to ask you, Angelica, to talk about what the letter that you received this morning.
Thank you, brothers and sisters. See, the Los Angeles that I love is made up of beautiful people who are behind me and who are all over this city. This is a city that cares for one another. This is a city of caretakers. The people that I'm standing next to are people who work with our students and our children. They're people who work in our faith institutions, caring for entire congregations. They're the people who are fighting for worker rights. They're our union brothers and sisters. These are the people who are running to the detention centers in order to offer legal services to those who are currently detained. They're the same people talking to the families that are calling us on our hotline. This is the Los Angeles that I love deeply. This is also the Los Angeles that the immigrant community has helped build from its very, very first days as a city. And what I want you to know is the city that I love loves our people back. What I have seen come to our city is cruelty, is chaos, is violations of human, civil, and constitutional rights. What has been brought to our city has been racial profiling in a way that I have never experienced it in my career. What I see now, and based on all our reports, is over 45 enforcement actions, not just in the city of Los Angeles, but our entire region, all of Southern California. I have never seen this. It's unprecedented, and that is an understatement. The pain that we are witnessing when we talk to the family members is unbearable, of children being left behind. And I want this president to know that this city is tough, it is organized, it is disciplined, and will not tolerate what is happening at this moment. What was very clear to me this year was, at the beginning of the year, is that they were not just going after the immigrant community, but they were going to go after all the immigrant rights organizations that supported them. And they did. They began by defunding us, by making sure that organizations here next to me wouldn't have the resources to be able to go represent children and vulnerable adults, disabled individuals in detention, that took away legal services from those who are still trying to find their parents and their children from the first Trump administration. And now what I see very clearly is they're coming to the organizations by then, I would say, to saying the most vicious of lies of who we are and what we do and what we're about. But the truth is the truth, and it's based on our actions. Not actions of this day, but actions of decades. And yes, we have received a letter from Senator Josh Hawley. But what I want you to know is that's not going to deter us. It's not going to intimidate us from standing with our immigrant community, by standing with our families, by demanding due process, by demanding that there be accountability for the violations of human and civil rights that have occurred in our city. But I know I'm not alone. These are all the people who are here with me, and there's so many good people in LA, and we're gonna stand together. We're gonna show this country that we do believe in liberty and justice for all, and that our Constitution and our Bill of Rights are our guiding principles, and that is what has brought so many immigrants to this country, because they believe deeply in these values, and we're gonna fight to make sure that those values are upheld. Thank you very much.
Let me just say that one thing I think that is not thought about, we certainly understand it in our city. The immigrant community is vital to the economy of our city. There are entire sectors of our economy that will not function if the immigrant community is too afraid to go to work and too afraid to go to school. You can talk about the construction industry, and I think there's a lot of building that needs to take place here. You can talk about hospitality, and I think that we are concerned about our tourism industry. And I could go on and on about the economic impact. That is why we have the Chamber of Commerce and the Central City Association led by Nell McCosker and Maria Salinas, the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Mayor, for your work. Angelica, thank you for your work and what you are doing in the front lines. On behalf of the Los Angeles Area Chamber of Commerce, I can tell you that we are deeply, deeply disturbed by all the activity that we have seen. And Mayor, you are right. We have a local economy here that is vibrant, but it's vibrant because of all our workforce. That includes our immigrant workforce that is here. And we at the Chamber of Commerce, we understand and we know that they play a role in just about every sector that you can think of. We understand that together, that we power one of the largest economies in this country. And it is important for us to recognize that if we have employees that do not show up to work, that's a problem. If they do not show up to their health appointments, that's a problem. They do not show up to their school and their education, that's a problem for our broader community. We want to see this community thrive. This is the Los Angeles that we all know. And I'm so proud to stand with all the civic leaders that are here, the business leaders that are here to say enough. We need to de-escalate this. We cannot have what happened to Senator Padilla today. That cannot be the norm. And Los Angeles will rise above this because we've done it before. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to do it with everyone in our community, including our immigrant population. I was with our chamber board this morning, affirming the work that we are doing to ensure that this community feels safe, feels supported, and that we are all working together just like we're here with the mayor and with this entire group here today. Thank you, Mayor, for having us and for lifting up how important it is to sustain an economy that works for all. Thank you.
I started off my day meeting with representatives of the business community and the labor community, which plays a vital role in our city. And there are already reports of people not showing up to work, of empty store shelves, of people feeling that they cannot leave, kids and families afraid to go to graduations. The attendance at graduations being down by 25 and 50% because parents are.
Guys, stop saying that the work angle is bad. It's not. It's not the only contribution that immigrants give to American society, but it's still a significant one, okay? And it also universalizes the problem for fucking selfish people. That's it. Like, I don't give a fuck if someone is an undocumented migrant or a documented migrant and has a job or doesn't have a job. I don't care. They're human beings. They have families. They deserve to be here. It's just fucking paperwork. Give the proper clearance and the proper paperwork. I don't care. Having said that, however, it is correct that Trump is disrupting commerce in a capitalist country for purely racist reasons.
In peace, to pray for peace, to bring a presence of peace. And I know, as you mentioned, the children that are here and our families are feeling that this is a moment that is quite scary for many of us. But I stand here today to remind us that this is also not just a scary moment, but a sacred moment. This is a sacred moment where we as the city of Los Angeles stand up and recognize that there's two ways we can live, as if everything is sacred or as if nothing is. And we stand here today because we know that everything and everyone and every place is sacred. There are some in our government, as you know, as we have seen, that act as if nothing is sacred. Not our churches, not our schools, not our hospitals, not our shelters, not our homes, not our streets, not our parks, not every place. No place is sacred, and nobody is treated as if they were in this city by this government. And so I'm here to remind you that this is a moment where we have a choice to make. If everything is sacred, then we need to respect the dignity of all people, respect the rights of all people. We need to do everything we can to advocate and stand for that, and everybody in this room, I think, stands with us as we say that. I go to my school every day